The other day, Dan said that we were talking about Jerry and how if he was prepared enough for the game, and he said, he did everything he was supposed to do as far as, I guess, a system or something that he has to sign into. Does he mean like an iPad, or how does that sort of work where you guys are able to tell if they do their work?
Yeah, there's different ways you can measure. He has them turn in almost like homework.
Okay.
At times, so there's just different ways to check our preparation.
Okay. I was just curious how that, you do that with every unit, or is it just the quarterbacks, or?
Every coach does different sort of checks in the same manner in terms of there's always like a test at the end of the week, those type of things.
And I guess when guys don't do what they're supposed to do, is there repercussions, or how do you guys sort of handle that?
Well, it depends, again, by the position. At some positions, that could affect playing time.
Okay.
I've always said, just through the years, you have like a guy that's a backup, and you'll show him his test on he takes the day before the game and say, look, if you got 4 out of 10 on this section wrong in a controlled environment, you're not going to get it right, in the chaos of the game. So just those type of things to try to make a measurable accountability.
Manny, a couple of things. First, did Jeff Thomas do a full practice today? I mean, sort of out of the blue, but I wasn't sure.
Jeff's been limited with a back deal, so that's been kind of he's been working through.
So is he sort of questionable, or?
I would say so, yeah.
Okay, and then the other thing I want to ask you is, Cam Harris talked about it yesterday, but when you guys do like up downs, whatever it is in practice, like, is that something you've done through the whole year, or have you sort of adjusted it since they've been struggling?
No, we've tried to put something in place this week and trying to get it to be a little more player-led. That after they get through a rack on, working on our Duke, for example, if there was something, obviously we'll repeat a play if it's not done right, but if there's something that, again, that they, a guy jumped off sides, that guy will come over and say, hey, let's get 5 up downs for my 5-yard penalty, just that type of thing. So again, we're trying to put the players bonded to each other from their accountability.
I like that. And also, is there anything the NCAA can do about flopping? Like, is there any answer to teams that just do that? You know what I'm saying?
That's beyond me. I mean, and no one likes it, but the officials, they come to me and they say, we're not allowed to judge intent, and so right now it's a loophole in a rule that I think everybody wants solved. I don't think anybody comes to want to watch that, but they'll have to figure out some kind of way to try to curtail it.
You talk about making sure that the lesson is taught so this never happens again. Is there something we see in this team where they responded, that the message did get across?
Yesterday, I thought our practice was good watching it. We went inside and watching the film, it was actually much better than what it felt out here. And then, we wear the catapult system that measures basically every step we take and how fast we run. Turns out yesterday was our second fastest practice of the year in terms of how guys were running, which means you can't run fast without straining, right? That was very encouraging to hear, because what that is telling you is that a football team on week 14 of a season, after such a bad loss, came out here and put the work in. They put the work in. Now, what we asked for today was the energy to increase. Nobody came here feeling really good about things, but they put in the work, and I think that, again, I keep saying this, and there are some cultural things that have been laid as a foundation in this year. You wouldn't have it if you wouldn't come out here and have the second fastest practice on a Tuesday. It wouldn't be there. Now we want to add the energy, the spirit that we want to play with on Saturday, and today was actually one of the better ones we've had all year in terms of that.
And when you talk about that, like, would there ever be an instance if a kid, teammates say you owe us up downs, whatever, and the kid's still not going full energy, like, would you ever remove him from practice? Like, how do you deal with that sort of thing?
Well, you might remove him from, it's something that's hard to remove a guy from practice because you're working in multiple groups. You wouldn't have enough guys to get through practice, but the whole key is that the players see it, right? And then the players want to say, look, we're all doing this. We need you to do this with us. And if you won't do this with us, then it's hard for you to say that you're with us. And you're trying to draw that line of, what does it mean to be fully in the program? And those are all the challenges in trying to get that rolling and trying to build the culture of what it means to be a Miami Hurricane.
You were obviously very involved with the defense. I know you're familiar with those guys, but has it surprised you at all, maybe some of the issues on the offense, not knowing those players? I mean, in terms of getting players to maybe be as committed as maybe your defensive guys were? Is that something that, as the year's gone on, that maybe you've come to realize, okay, these are some of the issues we were having on that side of the ball?
Well, I think there's two things, right? I mean, I think there's one, we're just young on offense, right? I mean, that's just undeniable. And I know it's week 11, or we played 11 games. We should be past that. But what I mean by young is that's where you're going to see guys that may have different levels of preparation, because they don't have the sense of urgency. week in and week out that an older guy does. So that's just real and measured. And I think secondly, you still have to look at where we were coming from, and what was the culture on the offense side of the ball, and who were. And a perfect example is a guy like KJ Osborne. Adding a guy who's your hardest worker and your best player. The loss of, if you go back, the loss of a guy like Braxton Berrios. Talk about what that meant in the wide receiver room, and how that changed. So you're looking for a way where you can get guys that are not just defined by their talent, right? Mm-hmm. Which has kind of been the thing, right. But that they're defined by what they do out here. And then when you get really talented guys to set that example out here, and I think that is still, when you look at the year, in its totality, and you see the development of, whether it's D. Wiggins, Cam Harris, Mike Harley, and how he stepped up as the years going. Those type guys. Mark Pogue had a touchdown last week. That's a positive sign for trying to rebrand what we're doing on that side of the ball. Forget not just scheme wise.
Right. But I guess what I meant was just sort of like the things that bother you as a coach when you don't see the effort or you don't see the focus.
Yeah. No, there's no doubt. Yeah, that's very disappointing because you want to be, we all want this to be further along than it is, and you want to say that there's no way, but that's in us. Mm-hmm. That we that you drive the bus to the stadium. It's what I told the team. It was our challenge to the team before the Louisville game. Mm-hmm. I said, we're this far into the season, and I still don't know what team exactly we're going to be on Saturday. I said, I don't know if you guys have it in you. Can you show me that we can beat Florida State and come back and beat a good Louisville team the next week? And we kind of rubbed it in their face. You've shown no ability to do this. You've gone back and forth. We have a great performance against Louisville. And my mistake was to think that was cured, because I told them that just 2 weeks prior, that I don't think you can be this team every week. Mm-hmm. And like I said, that's my arrogance to think that we had solved that when obviously we hadn't.
On Monday, you seem very definite with DJ Dallas. Is he indeed out?
Oh yeah, DJ's out, and it is. Yes, that's correct, and it is a dislocated elbow. I wasn't sure on the actual terminology of that. So
Brevin, yeah, that was last.
Yeah, Brevin practiced today. Yeah, really good.
You think he's
good to go? Yep.
Okay, good.
Awesome. Thank you all.